Chelsea Football Club are set to announce their agreement with Inter Milan in the next 24 hours. Numerous reports from Italy, the wider continent, and of course the UK suggest that the deal is closing in for a formal announcement between Chelsea Football Club and Inter Milan. The big talk has moved on from will it happen, won't it happen, to is this going to be a brand new British and English Premier League transfer record? Will Chelsea break what Manchester City set yesterday with Jack Grealish in the space of 24 hours? Reports from Damasio yesterday suggested, and I try not to laugh when I say this, that Roman Abramovich and Chelsea are aroused by the idea of breaking that record. Fans want to spend less, but these billionaire owners want to break these records. They want to be seen to be the most dedicated to their clubs. He's set to sign by Sunday, formally, to get himself registered in time to be able to play in the Super Cup for Chelsea Football Club. It will be a new record fee of some sort, whether it be Chelsea's individual record or the national record remains to be seen. But Chelsea will break records with this Lukaku deal. Prices range from 95 to 110 million pound across publications. Then Chelsea will move on to completing the transfer of Jules Koundé. We have a small update on that, a bigger one coming later on today for you. We will take any of your calls on Lukaku, on Messi, on Koundé, also on Saul Nigueza today as well. James Pearce from The Athletic confirming what myself and many of the Football Terrace sources and journalists have been mentioning over the last few weeks. It is the contract that is stopping this deal from happening. All that and much, much more this morning on the Football Terrace. Please smash that like button, share this stream, and make sure you subscribe and turn on the bell notification button. Here we go. Welcome back to the Terrace, everyone. I hope you had wonderful evenings, great start to your days, and it feels like it's going to be an epic one today. I feel like I said at the beginning of the week it was going to be a roller coaster ride. Lionel Messi is it depends on what reports you read. I have been sent something from the Swiss Ramble this morning. I haven't read and digested it about the financial situation they posted a few days ago, but it was one that nobody was focusing on. And often these are the transfer moments in a window that really set the cat amongst the pigeons because you're not expecting it. It comes out of nowhere. It's a little bit of a side swipe. I'm sure there's going to be some big revelations and updates over the course of today. The Lukaku announcement is closing in as we speak. Jules Koundé is going to start to pick up heat very, very soon as well. If you want to come on and have your say this morning, we've just posted the link in the live comment section right here, live on YouTube. We've also pinned it there as well. We have our first poll of the morning out, which is, will Chelsea break the British transfer record when they announce Lukaku? 78% of you in the vote right now think yes. We actually take a look at that vote over on Twitter. It's also out there right now. I'm just taking a quick look. 73.5% of you on Twitter think that record will be broken. Let's go to the live comment section here as we always do. David, one of our members, says, morning all. PSG going after Messi will help Pogba settle, I hope. Can also see City going for him. Yeah, it's going to be an absolutely intriguing one. Terry, why didn't any tier 1 journalists know about the Messi situation? Because the Messi situation, Messi didn't know about the Messi situation. Messi arrived in Barcelona yesterday expecting to sign paperwork. So if Lionel Messi didn't know, why would any journalist know at that particular moment? I also think what you've got to remember is what happens with transfers is journalists are typically focused on what their audiences and their base want to hear about. So nobody was asking questions about where Messi was going when it was pretty much announced that he was going to commit to Chelsea. So nobody was focusing on it with much detail. That would be the reason why these things are missed. Mr. David here says, good morning. How am I doing? I'm very, very well indeed. It's Friday. We've got the first ever Football Terrace meet up tomorrow with our crew, which would be nice. The second one we're going to do, we are going to be inviting our audiences, our subscribers, our members as an example. So yeah, really looking forward to that. I love some of the comments here. Let's go. What's this one here saying? I'm curious on what Lukaku is going to bring because I did not like the football when he was at Chelsea back in 2011 to 2014. Listen, I would just say this to you, Ocean Brew. We're going to talk on Lukaku now, to be fair. That was under most of that was Jose Mourinho, right? Well, Jose Mourinho was part of that. Who was your manager before Jose Mourinho? I just cannot remember for the life of me. However, the football has moved on. The football has progressed at Chelsea Football Club since 2014. Thomas Tuchel is a different kettle of fish. The style of play is different and all that jazz. So I wouldn't be overtly concerned about that. In terms of the deal, it depends upon what publication or what journalist you want to believe in. Spent quite a bit of time yesterday evening and over the course of yesterday, to be fair, speaking to journalists, from Pete that was on the show to Dean and to a number of others. I spoke to 4 journalists and 2 different agents about the Lukaku deal. I got different information. I got different theories. I got different stories. I got different opinions, and I got different prices that the player was going to cost and be paid. But they both ended, all those stories ended with pretty much the same conclusion. The deal will get done, or the deal is already done and it's delayed due to Inter seeking replacements and trying to handle this fan fallout. That was the general consensus. So I replied to Simon Phillips to the effect of that last night. And that's one thing I'd say to fans is be a little more relaxed. It doesn't really matter that Simon Johnson and Fabrizio and Damasio all have slightly different or varying stories. The end result is still pretty much the same, that a happy medium is set to be found. Inter Milan are in absolutely a diabolical financial situation. They have to sell the player. Lukaku, the horse is bolted. Lukaku has told them he's leaving. He wants to leave. He has entourage in the UK seeking accommodations, looking to get all the ducks in a row for him to settle back in the UK when he moves here. He expects this deal to go through. A lot of reports that it will be today that it's announced. Some of the reports last night suggested a new bid would go in between 115 and 120 million euros, into wanting 130 million euros. But then if you read the articles in their entirety, it's thought that a happy medium will be found. Again, I spoke to a journalist about that last night who said he thinks that news is about 24 to 36 hours old, that things have been agreed, as we tweeted yesterday, and they're just waiting for the right time to formalize this and announce this. There's also paperwork and legalities to be reviewed. But there are talks and feelings that today will be the day that the agreement between the clubs is announced, with Sunday being the day that Lukaku could be unveiled as a Chelsea player. Chelsea want to get the registration through as quickly as possible because they want him to be available to play in the Super Cup on Wednesday to make his second Chelsea debut, as it were. The deal is in a very, very good position indeed. There is no need to stress. There is no need to be worried. There is no need to be concerned. Of course, the Messi news sent everybody through the cat amongst the pigeons, as we said, and everybody went a little bit crazy. Chelsea were never going to pull out the Lukaku deal. City were never going to pull out the Jack Grealish deal. Nobody knows yet if Messi's even available. In fact, there is still a lot of mooted reports that Messi still may remain at Barcelona, that rules may be changed, that there may be a way back in. So I wouldn't even rule out right now him remaining at Barcelona moving forward. But I do want your views and I do want your opinions on this. We are going to run a second poll as well today. We are going to put a second poll out for you to all come on and have your say with as well. We're going to ask you how many goals you expect Romelu Lukaku to score this season. So we're going to pose that question to you now. How many goals do you expect this circa £100 million signing to score for Chelsea across all competitions next season? I want your thoughts and I want your feelings. Before that, smash the like button. Very, very important to us that you get that done. Let's get the stream past 500 likes as a bare minimum. Maybe even push that 1,000 mark today. Want to go to some more of your comments here. The goals are coming in 18, 20 to 25, 24. That's really low. I'm thinking like over 30 goals, all comps. Why is the expectation not higher? I test in the comments. Would love to get you on, my friend, to talk. Remember, you can phone up and speak about any of the transfers down below or any others that are on your mind, but come with points. Because I don't know if you've noticed, ladies and gentlemen, this is another little, I'll wait till we've got enough viewers. Some of the brand new Football Terry emojis are now available. They are now available, as you may be able to see. And I'm going to post them myself. So if you're a member, you'll be able to see. If you're not a member, you won't be able to see these. But I'm going to post these right now if I can find there it is, right? So I had to find my own stream on my phone. So I'm going to post these right now. I don't know if you've seen them. Okay, here we go with the emojis. So the brand new emojis are, we've got the goat emoji, which I've just posted now. So you want to call a player a goat or whatever it may be, you know, whatever tickles your fancy. What we also have, we're going to be having we will have club badges for everybody. We have the brand new Leicester City badge, which is there. We have we've got smash the like button emoji. We've got the flaming Football Terrace emoji as well, as you can see right now. I've just posted the flaming Football Terrace emoji. But in my favorite ones, we're going to have club badges for all the top 6+1. But these are going to be used for callers. We have in the bin and we have top bins. So if you put in the in the bin emoji, that person has got to improve on what they're saying or get to their point quicker. Otherwise, their call ends. If you're saying top bins, that means you're loving what's being said. It means you're loving what is being said. And you're in a position where they'll get to stay on longer. It's as simple as that now. So callers, have your points ready. Come with something to say, because the audience, our members, have your destiny in their hands. As a comment from King says, Terry, does Snack Media own the Football Terrace now? Snack Media own a percentage of the Football Terrace along with me, but I remain in control. I have the creative control. I have the control of the company. I run the company still, but they have invested in the Football Terrace, as everybody knows, as that was announced. I acquired a percentage of the organization. I still remain, of course, a major shareholder in the business. That's the technical side, the boring side that nobody cares about. From a creative point of view, I'm the managing director of the Football Terrace. I am head of content, if you want to call it that way. I don't really have a title. I haven't given myself one. That'd be really, really weird. But I run the Football Terrace still. So yes, it's not owned like in that way. I'm not an employee. I'm an employee of the Football Terrace now, which is weird. So this is the way it works. I sold off part of my company, created a new company, and now I'm the MD of it. So I'm employed by it, but I'm also the owner of it. It's just, it's just a business. But there we go. I hope you enjoy those brand new emojis that we have for you. So there we go. Give us a wave. Sirim, I'm going to give you a wave. I've never been asked to do that before on a live show, but there we go. So we're going to have by the end, maybe every week, we're going to have about 4 or 5 new emojis for you. We'll have brand new club badges for everybody. Lots more that we want to make the emojis a little bit more interactive for you, so that you can kind of tell us what you're thinking and feeling. So if something's being said and you think it's great, use the fire emoji, as I've just posted there. If the opinion is absolutely rubbish, you stick the in the bin emoji in and stuff like that. If you're talking about a player or about a caller, throw the goat emoji in. Get it done now. There's a lot of pressure on the call. I can see the callers backstage getting themselves ready now to give us their opinions. I love it. I absolutely love it. But make sure the like button is being hit. If you want to become a member, the link to do that is inside our description below. I will post it in the live comment section as well, just in case you do struggle to see that. You can join to use the emojis, plus many other benefits from as little as 99 pence per month. As little as 99 pence per month. Terry, can Inter afford to be paid in installments? Depends on the agreements they have with their creditors, but potentially. So Chelsea would become a secured creditor. They may be able to go to a bank. They probably will be able to go to a bank and borrow the money if they had to make the payment in a lump sum, if they have a secured creditor, because that secured creditor would be the collateral that the bank would need as security. So the bank would be protected because they can sign an agreement that essentially boils down to, if Inter Milan don't make their loan payments, we will then become the debtor. We will then be the organization that receives the money from Chelsea Football Club. It's fairly easy to do that, really. So a secured creditor is basically an asset because it's money that is guaranteed. Chelsea cannot get out of paying it. Even if they went into administration, the company, they would have to pay that money before before anybody else got sorted out, whoever the secure creditors are. So that would be the way around it works. So yes, it can be done, but maybe not directly. Do you have a donkey emoji? Or don't? Any suggestions for emojis that you would like us to put in? Let us know now in the comment section. I will make a note of a donkey emoji. I like that, actually. The donkey emoji is cool. We can have that next to goat. So yeah, put that in and let us know. We're going to start going to calls now. First on the show this morning, we're going to get CFC chats. Remember, we're talking about the transfer record of Lukaku, but how many goals and what's the impact that you think he's going to have upon Chelsea Football Club this summer? First up, CFC chats is in the house with me. Morning, sir. What do you want to say? You're on mute, my friend.
First of all, good evening, Terry. Appreciate having me on the show again. Yeah, Lukaku, done deal. Personally, I wasn't the biggest fan, but he's at the club. We've got to support him. And I think I want to say in Prem, I want to say 2025. I think he can go top of the table if he really wants to, with the likes of Werner having the most goal attributions last season, Mount as well having one of the highest in the Premier League goal attributions. I can see Lukaku scoring a lot of goals with our fantastic assists we have right behind him. So I'm really proud to have Lukaku at the club. I think every Chelsea fan should be happy to have him in the club. Even though I wasn't backing him, I was backing Haaland. He's about to join. We should be backing him. It's a hefty price, but we trust the process. We trust Marina, Roman, Tuchel. So I hope he has a great season. In the Champions League, all up, I can see him in all competitions. Probably, I could see about 35 to 40 in all competitions. I can see around that. He could definitely go for the golden boot this season, if he really wants to. But yeah, it's gonna be a great season with Lukaku at the club and Kunde.
Getting a lot of top bins right now, Matt, which is great. I think he's going to score lots of goals as well. What's your take on Chelsea fans that seem downhearted by this move? That his approach plays bad. The touch comments are coming out again as well. Do you understand where they're coming from? What's your response to the Chelsea fans that think this could be a bad signing?
That they literally just got to wake up and watch him play. Like, yes, every player has their weakness. Every player, Messi, Ronaldo, they all have their weakness. But we can adapt to that and we can hopefully train him to become better. But, it's dribbling. Sorry, Perry, what did they say again? I don't really read up on what were you saying? What did they bag about him?
So
It's like his
essentially,
weight. The bag of a little bit his weight, but what was the other one?
I've seen everything from weight issues, first touch, bad approach play.
Yeah,
He
first time.
struggled here before. Will he score in the Prem like he was in Serie A? Do you dismiss all of that and think I'm just going to get behind him? I think he's improved. I think he's good enough. What's your take on that?
Well, he's coming to a different league, obviously in the Premier League. And when he was in the Premier League beforehand, he had amazing stats, and people were still calling him horrible. His weight is not a problem. He is bulky, and that's a good thing. He's just gonna body these defenders and just go right past them. And I think people need to really wake up, support him all you can. Because if you see anyone talking bad about a player, about their own club, like a Kepa was getting last season, I found that really embarrassing. Because that's one of our own players, and they're bagging. It's like in your country, you're bagging one of your own Olympic members for not doing well. You've got to always support them, know where they came from, and be supportive. I'm gonna say that word again. Just be supportive, and we just us fans aren't gonna say do this, do this. We just gotta look at him and go. Hopefully, he gets better from our training team. We can't really do anything to make him improve, but we just gotta support him so he has that confidence on the pitch.
Listen, I absolutely agree with you. Something that I think is really important for Chelsea fans to remember is listen to what Gini Wijnaldum has said recently as an example. And a number of other players have come out and said very similar. The way fans treat them on social media impacts them on the field and it impacts their decision making. No football player wants to go through their day-to-day life without receiving criticism when they're not doing poorly. But when that criticism turns into agendas and turns into abuse, and then those things always spiral into idiots thinking that they'll throw in something racial because a precedent has been set that abusing player A, player B is acceptable. These things damage the psyche of these individuals. And I think fans need to get behind Lukaku. Of course, criticize him if he's not doing what he's doing. But my fear for him is this small percentage of Chelsea fans who are already against the idea. My fear is if 2 or 3 games in he hasn't scored or he's missed a few sitters, that agenda is going to catch fire. That agenda is they're going to grab hold of it like a dog on a bone. It's going to be hard to get rid of it. And actually, we've seen and we've got the evidence of it now. The likes of Genie talking about it, how damaging and upsetting and horrible it is for these players. So Chelsea fans in their masses get behind Lukaku. He's one of the best goal scorers in world football, barring maybe Lewandowski, Kane and Haaland. I don't think there is a better number 9 in the world right now than Lukaku. And those other 3 were just unattainable this summer. Listen, Matt, great call. I really appreciate you coming on again and having your say. Top man. We have a super chat here from Vincent Clark who says we need budget caps in football. This kills youth. It doesn't though, does it? Because all football players were once upon a time youth players. So the notion that it kills youth isn't true. What it does in teams like Chelsea, teams like Man United, teams like City is only the best, only the youth that are truly brilliant are going to make it into the first team, barring a few squad members. It can't kill youth, otherwise there'd be no football players left. Football players, it's not like the Matrix where you're reborn and you're a fully formed adult out of a cocoon. Messi was a youth player. Grealish was a youth player. Sancho was a youth player. It's about being good enough. Signing big name players doesn't stop the development of academy players. If the academy player is good enough, they will make their way into that first team. If they're not good enough at that moment in time of the club, they will go to another club and make their way, i.e. Jadon Sancho. Youth players that fade away, young players that fade away, I don't believe it's about a lack of opportunity. I believe it's a lack of application, ability. They just don't get better. It's on them as individuals. Nobody is stunting their growth, my friend Vincent. It's all on them. It's about them developing themselves. Why does Varane have to isolate, but Lukaku doesn't? I haven't looked into that. Maybe different rules from different countries, bubbles that people have been in. I don't know. I really don't know the answer to that without looking into it, my friend. Next caller on the terrace this morning, we're going to go to Eric, who's a Chelsea fan. We're talking Lukaku. How many goals is he going to score next year? And what's your response to that small minority of negative Chelsea fans saying he's going to be a flop? Eric is here. What are you saying, buddy? Hello, mate.
Good morning.
Yeah, lovely. What do you want to say, my friend?
So, Lukaku, I think he'll get 30 to 35 goals on average in the season. But I think he's a very world-class striker. I think he's going to be he's going to fit well into the system. And if you look at the people who can supply him, like ZH, like Mount, like Odoi, Pulisic, I can see him getting goals. So we need a striker, and if we can get Haaland, Lukaku is a very, very good alternative for that.
Yeah, listen, I think Lukaku is going to kill it. As I said yesterday, I think between 30 and 35. I think between 30 and 40 goals. I think I said 37, 38 yesterday in all competitions. He's a world-class striker, and that's exactly what you needed. What's your take on the negative Chelsea fans that are angry about this, that almost don't want to accept that Lukaku, 1, is a top player, and 2, is going to break the Chelsea transfer record and return to the club? And by the way, this is a club that he has been wanting to return to since the day that he left.
Yes. The thing is, the general feeling is that we should have gotten an Haaland, but Haaland deal is, let me say, too difficult or too expensive because the club wants 150 to 175. Then the agent fees is that and stuff like that. But I think we need to see him play first. We don't need to normally we need to put pressure on him because he's a record signing, but we don't need to have that hate in our mind to put extraordinary pressure on him because he
Exactly.
will perform. He will get goals. You have you have Lukaku, he will get goals. So let's see him play. Maybe after, and if he flops, okay, you can put him on a stick.
Yeah,
Fine, but let's see him play.
absolutely. I could not agree with you more, Eric. Great call. Thank you for coming on the show this morning, mate. Let him play. Get behind him, and that's it. Let him play. Get behind him. Support him. Just looking here says, I agree with most of that, but not all. A lot of Chelsea youngsters of the past faded away because of poor planning from the club in terms of their loan moves. Yeah, I understand that, but I also think if you join Chelsea's academy, you know what's what. A massive part of Chelsea's academy is to raise money through loan fees to supplement the income so that they didn't fail on financial fair play. We all know that's the case, or it's a large reason for the academy. The Mason Mounts and the Reece Jameses, they got an opportunity. One, they're brilliant, and two, because of that transfer ban, but they seized the opportunity when they had the chance to come in. But I've seen other Chelsea youngsters in the past, the Kakutas of this world, etc., get opportunities and never really look that good. If you're a Chelsea youngster and you are good enough, I always have this theory as well. There will be very few. Harry Kane is like an exception that proves the rule. But I think there are very few players that go out on 2 or more loans from their clubs that ever truly make it at their parent club. When I say truly make it, I'm talking start regularly and have a major impact in that team, and sort of they make it, they've arrived, and they achieve the level that we all want. You know, they might get a lot of, the Lingards and the Loftus-Cheeks of this world have done well. They've had a fair number of appearances, but I would never say they cemented themselves into those teams and that affinity with the fans. I mean, Lingard did score in 2 cup finals, which really gives him a kind of folklore status in the game. But you wouldn't look at him like establishing himself like a Scholes or a Beckham or a Giggs, So I do think the loan element, I do get where you're coming from, though, my friend. Neil O'Callaghan here with a super chat says, Lukaku is a perfect fit for Chelsea, similar to Drogba and Costa. He was underutilized at United, and the fans never warmed to him, and now he can prove them wrong. He'll score at least 20 plus goals in the Premier League. And that is a fair point there. I mean, the other poll that was already out was, will Chelsea break the British transfer record? 78% of you voted on that. We're now going to end that poll, and we're going to launch the new one here. How many goals will Lukaku score for Chelsea next season? We're gonna post that poll up right now. We're gonna get that out for you all to come on and have your say. And we put the options are going to be, I'm going to write the options in now. We're going to put in 1 to 10, 11 to 20. So I want to see your votes on this. Your votes are going to be key here. So let's get this typed up and in. And I will be back with you in a second. As I say, as a terrace grows, eventually we actually were talking about this in a meeting the other day. I was like, yeah, I really need to get someone to like direct these shows when I'm live, so I haven't got to do all the administration elements, so I can just focus more on you gorgeous people. That's the most important bit. But that new poll is going to be posted in just a few seconds time. That's now out, and it's also out on Twitter as well. So if you're watching over there, get that done. The new poll is out. I want your thoughts and I want your feelings on that one. We're going to do some more calls in just a moment. Gary here with a super chat says, Rom is a good finisher, average link-up play. Timo, good link-up play, poor finisher. Could TT play 2 up front with Lukaku, with either Kai or Timo to complement each other? And Gary, I think that is a very sound suggestion. I think that's a very logical way of looking at things. Timo Werner, most of the people I listened to last year spoke about him being much better, much better in a 2 than as a single striker. So I think that's a really great thought there. CJ here says, Terry, would Lukaku be eligible to play in the Super Cup if he signed by Sunday? What I've read, yes. I mean, I haven't gone and researched the law of the game in that regard. Just based on the reports that I've read, yes, I believe that would be the case. A few people are asking for a Saul Nigueza update. I will give that Saul Nigueza update now. Saul Nigueza to Liverpool was stalled. Saul Nigueza to Liverpool was stalled for one reason and one reason only. Been telling you this for weeks now. James Pearce has now confirmed it. I did feel that James Pearce put a little bit of a, what's the word I'm looking for here? A slight negative slant on it. A slight negative slant on it where he said, unless there's a change of heart from Liverpool, I can't see it. Sound against the Liverpool, that is. He went, he's been offered around to a host of clubs, but his wage demands are massive, is what he said there. And as I've said before, unless there's two ways that Liverpool get this done. Saul Nigueza crumbles and changes his mind. And with Barcelona in this financial trouble, that could happen. Or Liverpool change their mind and increase what they're offering to him. What I will say about Liverpool is this. It isn't done and dusted. It isn't done and dusted. It's stalled. It isn't done and dusted at this moment in time. Liverpool can still pull this off, but they're playing the waiting game. Remember, the likes of James Pearce said that the Van Dijks and the Alissons and Thiago deals won't happen. So I think it's really, really important to look at the fact that Saul Nigueza to Liverpool is on. It is alive. Liverpool Football Club know what they are doing. 110% know what they're talking about here. However, the reason it's stalled is because of the wages. That's the point I'm focusing on here, ladies and gentlemen. It isn't about, but you said this and he said that and she did this and why did they go over here? That's what's stopping it completing at this point. The fee with Atletico is not a problem, I've been told, and I'm led to believe. It's all about the wages. Liverpool will play the long game here. Battle of attrition. That's all this is. That's all this comes down to at the end of the day. Let's do some more calls here. Next up on the show, Pav is in the house. Welcome back to the show, Pav. What are you here to say, my friend?
I'm here to talk about Messi. What I've seen since yesterday, mate, you got people standing outside the gates crying like the man's dead. What's going on? This whole Spanish league thing, they brought it upon themselves. They wanted us, the people who watch Premier League games, who are invested in watching Premier League, to pay for their debts, to get them out of their shithole that they're in. And now they're losing their best players. You've had Ramos leave, you've had Varane leave, you've had Messi leave. What's left there? Why do people want to watch it? What, for breath weight? Is that what it's come to that league? It is a bit like sad for Messi to leave. He didn't want to leave. He was ready to sign it. And people need to understand, like, you said something in one of your videos the other day where people said that you said something and it didn't happen. Fabrizio said yesterday, Messi's going to sign the contract. He's been saying it for days. And look what happened. Things change just like that in an instant. So next time when people come up to you and say, you said this and it didn't happen, like, you have to understand things can just change instantly. Fabrizio got something wrong. Messi didn't sign the contract as he should have. But yeah, I mean, I think there's 4 clubs who could realistically afford him. PSG, City, Chelsea, and probably us, but we're probably at the bottom of that pile. I don't believe we could afford the wages he would want. I know he was going to take a 50% pay cut, but if he's going elsewhere, he'll probably ask for more money now. But yeah, I mean, there's no wonder why them 2 scrubs, Perez and Laporte, wanted the Super League. Like, they needed the money. They're desperate for it. And if you've got clubs like in the Premier League who need players, you should be going out there pinching their players, offering them less money. If they're that desperate, they should sell. Like,
well, and this feeds back into the point I was making there about Saul Nigueza. I've said all along, this is in Liverpool's hands. Liverpool, if they pay him the contract he wants now, he becomes a Liverpool player today, in my opinion. But they're waiting, and I understand why they're waiting, because they think Saul Nigueza will concede and do a lower base with incentives or just a lower offer altogether, because it looks like he's barely going to play Atletico Madrid, and it's whether or not he wants to sit at the bench on Madrid and get paid 300 grand a week, or play for Liverpool Football Club or Manchester United Football Club and actually sort of, let's say, play football, like just play the game that he wants to do. So you're absolutely right. And look, I have no sympathy for La Liga at all. I remember doing a debate. One thing that's always struck me as strange. I've met a lot of people that are Premier League fans in terms of they support Premier League clubs, but they've always had this weird notion that La Liga is better than the Premier League. And this isn't a nationalistic thing for me. This is just about speaking cast iron facts. You and I can have a preference on what we prefer, but that doesn't make it the best. At the end of the day, you might prefer Michael Jackson, and I might think Peter Andre's better. However, at the end of the day, the record sales tell you everything. The number of albums and singles sold tell you who's best by a general consensus. And the same thing to be said here. The Liga and Premier League debates were dead for the last 10 years, in my opinion, because year on year, national and international Premier League views versus La Liga views have been slowly moving apart. Premier League going up and La Liga. La Liga has dropped viewing figures in its own nation. I haven't seen what it's been like over. It's probably increased over COVID because more people were at home, right? But up until that point, it was decreasing a bit. People in their droves were unsubscribing from the platforms to watch it. That's on them, and that's on them. Do you know why that is that way? Because they created a 2-horse race, and every now and then you'd have an Atletico or somebody else. It's Valencia a few years before that would create this situation where they would burst out the trap. But what would normally happen is Barca and Real Madrid would strip out their best players, very much like in Germany, very much like we're seeing in France. The Premier League, yes, there's only ever really been 2, sometimes 3 people in the title race, but there's always been, for years now, the Premier League there's always been a title race, a top 4 race, brilliant relegation battles, and there's always like a big team or two that ends up in the mud in any particular season. That makes it the best. I don't care about, but they're better technically. No one cares about that. Everyone cares about the excitement, the nature of it. We're going into the start of this Premier League season with City as favourites, but everybody's excited. So I have no sympathy with the Liga because they created a 2-horse race. They created a monopoly. That monopoly has made it less entertaining for people, not just domestically, but internationally. Then we've hit a financial crisis nobody expected, and it's destroyed them. It's absolutely destroyed them.
You're seeing a lot more top players or players just in general wanting to come to the Premier League now because they know that the Premier League is a safe bet for a decent income compared to the other leagues. Like the Premier League, I can never really see it like losing the income that it gets because like as fans we say, we don't want to pay this and this, but we'll pay it because like you just said, it's the excitement of the league. Not even that, like you look at the playoffs in the Championship, you probably get a lot more people watching the playoffs than you would say maybe get a Barcelona v Atletico Madrid. It's because of the excitement. So yeah, like I said, compared to other leagues to the Premier League, every other league is a farmers' league for the Premier League. Like everybody will want to come here, not just because of like the league, because of the money as well. It's a safe bet. You're going to get a decent income, and you know what I mean. It's just a safe bet.
I could not disagree with you at all, mate. Listen, Pav, great call, mate. Thank you for coming on the terrace again this morning. Speak to you again soon. Top man. It's absolutely true here. Devil's advocate with Super Chat. Morning, my friend. Hope you're well. He says, for the sake of the Premier League, I hope Messi doesn't go to City. They already have 2 world-class 11s. Adding Messi will turn the Premier League into League 1. Do you know what's interesting? I don't necessarily think it will, you know. I understand he makes them better. But I think like Messi's at an age where it doesn't bother me where he goes. Because it's not like you're getting Messi at 24 years of age and it's like, oh my God, we've got to put up with this for a decade. It's a few years at best. I think it puts a lot more pressure on them. And I think the Chelseas and the Liverpools are poised to challenge them irrespectively, although they're the favourites. And I think Man United are not too far behind that. The Premier League clubs all have the money, and that money is going to continue to increase. It doesn't legitimately doesn't worry me in any kind of real negative way. The thought of Messi joining the Prem. Will he go to PSG? It's a real hard one. A few reports last night suggested that can they afford him with everybody else they've signed? Looks like they definitely can't bring in Paul Pogba. A lot of people say, then Paul Pogba stay, then go to Madrid next year for free. They see the situation that La Liga is in by then. You know, right now, is there any real desire from anybody to join La Liga? It feels like, I don't know. Just, you ever seen like a TV show that's lost its, like you might watch, I don't know, Big Brother. Big Brother when I was younger was the show. See how Love Island is now? That was Big Brother when I was younger. Now when Big Brother's on, even I don't even know if it's on anymore. That's the point. Did it end? Is it on? Is it finished? No one really cares. Right now, that's how La Liga feels. It's like an out-of-date, irrelevant TV show that's on, but nobody's really watching it anymore. It's just, it's there, but no one cares. It used to be good, but they've had too many seasons. Honestly, I wouldn't be worried. I'm just, not worried about it at all. Reese here says KFC is basically breadcrumbs on chicken. Yes, it is. But very nice breadcrumbs on chicken. Terry, did you see the video that the Villa CEO explained the Grealish transfer? I think if more owners could do that, it would really put fans at ease and level-headed. Yeah, absolutely. Transparency is key. I learned this in my time in retail banking, and it was something I pushed and helped the bank I worked for start to change. I don't know what they're doing now. I've been gone from there a number of years, but it was about being open and honest with customers. So from the way we treated staff, what we targeted staff to do, and our decision-making processes. If we've got a policy that we're not willing to tell our customers about, why? If we're targeting staff to do X, Y, and Z, but we don't want the customers to see what we're targeting them to do, why? Something wrong with it, isn't there? Villa didn't do what they did for any bad reasons. There was logic behind it. There was faith behind it. And it was a very beautiful speech. And I think transparency, explaining what happens, no one cares about. What you care about is the how and the why. The why and the how are the most important elements in making people understand. Whether it's referees explaining their decisions, whether it's clubs coming out and being open, raw, and honest. Honestly, if John Henry had come out after the Super League thing and said, look, it was a bad idea. We thought it was good for these reasons. We've got it absolutely wrong. We're listening to you. People would respect it more. When you come out with a BS PR nonsense, everybody switches off. It's why I don't watch any. Honestly, I see YouTubers do like press conference reactions. I think, why? We learn nothing in press conferences because they say nothing. It is watered down, rehearsed answers. It's a nonsense. Yesterday's speech was so good because it was real. It was truthful. It was deep. Fans need more honesty like that. It's like at the moment with this whole official, unofficial transfer talks. Personal terms will be no problem, but they're not agreed. Oh, no bids were actually made. Oh, no, things are not advanced. They haven't had a bid accepted yet. Only advances after a bid is accepted. Cough. You're going to hear this about Lukaku in the next few days. This deal happened quickly. We've been talking about it since fucking May. Happened quickly. What you mean is, once Chelsea decided to drop their pursuit of Haaland, the Lukaku deal has completed quickly. The completion is quick, not the hunt. The hunts take ages. They've been toying and talking to the player for large parts of the summer. It isn't a quick deal. And do you know why? It's completing quickly? Because all the legwork has already been done. If Chelsea started their pursuit of Lukaku on Thursday last week with no prior contact, no prior work through intermediaries, it wouldn't be this quick. Football fans get lied to all the time, and it angers me. It angers me so much. Deep down inside, it angers me to my core that we get, this deal got done in an hour and a half. Did it fuck? It's crazy. Like, they'll be talking about that maybe a specific element got done very quickly, but not the overall thing. Don't allow yourself to be lied to. One journalist I saw said that this is moved very quickly. Also, was a journalist that 3 months ago said that an offer was made to Lukaku by Chelsea. They try and spin it because they want to make you think, "Wow, we did it amazingly." You've done an amazing job, but explain the process so over the course of the summer there's less stress. When you try and make it sound like Chelsea have got this done in a matter of days, as in start to end, like seedling to like from inception to birth, right? Conception to birth, not inception, conception to birth. That's why people get stressed in other windows where they go, "Well, we got that deal last time and it took us a week. Why is it taking us 3 months to get this deal done?" Because they all take about that amount of time in terms of the planning, the prep, who else do we want to buy, what's the backup options, what's the club say? There's so much that goes on here. I'm just saying that, peeps, 100%. Listen, let's do some more of your calls here this morning. Next on the show, we're going to go to Chronicles of the Truth. That's an interesting name. Remember, we've got the brand new emojis on offer now. If you're enjoying the caller, hit top bins. If you're not enjoying the caller, hit in the bin. The members control the fate of the callers on the football terrace now. Hit that like button for us this morning. Chronicles of Truth is here. What are you saying, buddy?
Terry, how are you?
I'm very, very well, my friend. What do you want to say, buddy?
Okay, so firstly, I want to talk about Messi's situation. Like, I
Yes.
would like to see him in the Premier League, no matter which club he goes to. You know, I've seen him over and over, you know, do his thing in the Spanish La Liga, and now I think it's a time for a new competition for him.
Yep.
Yeah. So whether he goes to Manchester City or Chelsea or any club, I think football right now needs to see Messi have a new challenge in a league like the Premier League that's so physical. I want to see him play against mid-table teams, doing midweek, and then come up to play in a big game, maybe during the weekend, and see how he fares. You know.
Yeah, listen, there's a part of me that wants to see him in the Premier League, irrespective, in the same way as you do, because I just want to. It's great for the league, and although I'm a Man United fan, I care about the Premier League as well. Of course, I do because my club is within it. I also want to like. There's a positive to come out of this for Messi as well.
Sure.
One of the things that Ronaldo supporters have over Messi's is that Ronaldo has done it in multiple leagues. This is a chance for Lionel Messi now, and this is why I implore him to join the Premier League or Serie A if he can, or even the Bundesliga if he can. Do it in one of the top 4 leagues. Deliver in one of the top 4 leagues as opposed to going to League A, which is, in my opinion, it's a tier below. So go to one of the big leagues and deliver, which I know he will, but go and do it and just silence that one area of doubt. Chronicles of Truth, great call. Thank you very, very much indeed. Next on the show, we're going to go to Paul. We're going to get Paul on the show now. Welcome back to the terrace, Paul. What do you want to say?
How are you, mate? How you doing?
I'm very, very well. What's on your mind, buddy?
Well, when you look at the Lukaku situation, I want to speak about it a little bit. There's been a lot of stick around Lukaku, and numbers don't lie. I've just checked on the stats. But Didier Drogba and Lukaku played Saka 252 to 254 games. And Lukaku managed 113 goals opposed to Drogba's 103. And you can argue that Drogba has had a very good period where he was playing with the best managers, and Lukaku, traveled to Everton and the like. So I think Chelsea fans need to give Lukaku another chance. And when you look at the club right now, I think they need to focus on getting the deal done, the Lukaku deal done, instead of now trying to change the focus to Messi, because you obviously don't know what the situation is with Messi.
Yeah, listen, and I think Chelsea are focusing on. I think every single Premier League club that can afford him. The big boys are going to look at the possibility of signing Messi. It would be irresponsible not to. But Chelsea from this, and we said it at the top of the show, Chelsea from this will move on to Jules Koundé. That's where Chelsea are going on to after this deal is done. The Lukaku situation is pretty much done, dusted, in the bag. They will then go on to sort out the Jules Koundé situation, which, look, I tweeted the other day. I was slightly... I should have waited a bit longer and verified the news. Ironically, the gentleman who's an agent from France that told me this, he's still adamant that Jules Koundé is going to go through. He said he's assured of it. I think Simon Johnson said something very, very similar yesterday in an article. Chelsea were just confident that Zuma would either go to West Ham or do the swap deal. So everything would be a formality. They didn't expect Zuma to reject both deals with both those clubs, meaning they now have to go back and reassess. But by the time that happened, they were in the process of sorting out the Lukaku situation, and they were deep in it. So one is on ice while they finish this off, and because it's in that actual deep moment where they actually are busy with the Lukaku situation. They're going to move on to it next. I very much doubt Messi is going to go to Chelsea at this moment in time, but we will see. Great call, Paul. Thanks for coming on the terrace and having your say. Super chat here from Milan says, Farmers La Liga have 5 teams in the Champions League. How many have you got? Farmers took 2 finals of your hands. How many Champions League trophies have you had against Spain? Listen, the top Spanish clubs are brilliant, but we're not talking about how good the top clubs are. We're not. We're talking about how good and competitive the leagues are and who watches them. You are looking at 2 completely different arguments. 2 completely different arguments in this situation, aren't you? How good the top 2-3 teams are versus how good the league is. The league. We know that the Premier League is better because viewing figures domestically and globally increase year on year. The league has dwindled. That's it. Me and you, Milan, could have different opinions on what the best TV show is. But if my TV show gets 10 million views a week and yours gets 5 million views a week, mine is better. It's better. Preference goes out the window. Nuance goes out the window. My truth and your truth goes out the window. Opinions no longer matter because the consensus has spoken. The consensus has spoken. Simple as that for me when it comes to these debates. There's no doubt about it at all. Definitely will not be coming to Chelsea is what Just Looking who's a Chelsea fan thinks. We've gone to member chats on here. If you want to become a member, the link is inside our description below. Please use our new emojis as well, people. It would be wicked. Let's have a little look here. Stop downplaying, though. Stop downplaying, though. Hughes won the Champions League last year. They did win it. And by the way, Man United getting beat by Villarreal isn't because they were better than us. It's because we just had a stinker of a night. We played Villarreal 10 times. We'd beat them 8 or 9 times out of 10. It just is what it is. You know, if you actually look at Europe in the last 3 or 4 years, the Prem has started to take over. But this could be a different era because not only the Prem taking over, financially we're superior. You know, when we had our really good run in the mid-noughties to the early teenies, La Liga had as much money as us. But now we have the money, we have the resource, and we were overtaking them. And I'm not going to lie to you, if you took Messi and Ronaldo out of the equation in the last 10 years, I don't think the Barças and the Real Madrid win half the Champions Leagues they've got. They had brilliant teams, but they had these 2 players that were the greatest ever to play football that just without them, I don't think they would have won as many. They would have won, but maybe not as many. Comment here from Duffy on our Twitch account who says, still the Farmers League. Sorry, the league is crap. La Liga is crap. Sorry, it's not entertaining. Josh here, my guy Josh Willington has just become a legend and super fan of the Football Terrace. And that brings me on to a very nice segue when it comes to the terrace. So we've secured a location for our first terrace away day. You'll see if you click on the join page or membership page of the terrace, you'll see all the different pros and cons that you get. Member only streams like right now. We will be doing later on this month the first ever Legends and Superfan and squad member and above stream Q&A with me. But we are launching something called Terrace Away Days, where we'll be at a live location somewhere in the UK, hosting a show just like this with panelists where you get to be there live. You can watch. We'll be doing fan cams with you. It's going to be a nice little event. Everybody that's a Legends and Superfan will get access to that first, and then it will work its way down the pecking order. Then it will be first team members, then it'll be squad members of the Football Terrace. It's one of the benefits and privileges that you get signing up to one of our membership programs, along with the use of our exclusive emojis. If you're a Legends and Super fan, you've got the private WhatsApp group that you can request to join, and everybody gets into it. We've got, at the end of next month, the scars will be ready for our first team members and our Legends and Super fans, along with multiple other perks as well. Follow backs on social media. You have to remind me to do that, by the way, because I don't know what everybody's names are on socials. So thank you very much, Josh, for becoming a member of the Football Terrace as well. Plus, if you want access and you want to come along to our studio that is opening and launching on the 20th. Unit 7, our Friday night and our match reaction shows will be open to our audiences. Limited number for each show, but you will get the opportunity to join us, be involved, and everything else along with that. If you want to become a member now, please get yourself signed up like Josh. Matt Sampson's also become a squad member of the Football Terrace today. Your mama has become an academy member of the Football Terrace today as well. Thank you very, very much indeed. Let's have a look here what else is being said. Everyone's looking stronger this season to some degree. It's interesting to see the subplots of this year. I agree with you. Every team is looking stronger. There's still like areas that everybody maybe needs to improve in, barring, say, Manchester City. It's going to be enthralling. It's going to be absolutely enthralling to see what happens and how this transpires and how this moves forward. It really is. Michael here with a super chat says, Chelsea fan, Messi would be an incredible for any team, but I think we have a young, promising side, and Messi could completely ruin what we've spent the last couple of years building. I understand that. I actually understand that as a concept and as a notion. I really do understand that. I really do. I think that you're onto something when you say that. I do. I get you completely. I think that's the case there. Finances. Whose position does he take in the team? However, though, it's about winning, isn't it? You know, he's better than Mason Mount. He's better than Hudson-Odoi. He's better than Zia. He's better than everybody in the Chelsea team, right? No disrespect. So for 2 or 3 years, you could do you could win 2 or 3 Premier Leagues. So I understand your train of thought, but the more I think about it, this is Lionel Messi. You got to take him if you got the opportunity. Don't you have to take him if you got the chance. David's here with me now. Morning, mate. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Would you replace Mason Mount with Messi?
Of course I would. What kind of question is that? Like, I would give it anything for Messi. Even though, like, people have, been viewing me about the whole, is it worth it? I actually don't think Messi's worth it, but he's Messi, so he is worth it. So, like, the thing with Messi is that not only does he bring, like, he will obviously bring success because he's the greatest footballer of all time, but he will also just bring, like, half of an extra bit of fan base that you already don't have. He like, people, especially nowadays, the way that fans are, they follow players. So you're going to get a lot of people going, oh, suddenly now I'm a Chelsea fan because that's where Messi plays. So obviously the whole, the myth of like, oh, you'll make it back in shirt sales or something. It's not going to happen. But like long term,
I do think
it could happen.
I think shirt sales, no, because most clubs don't earn commission on shirt sales as a set price. However, you could go straight to those sponsors and negotiate something and say, look, can we get more money? Can we do a deal? Equally, you can speak to your sponsors or your investors about direct Messi sponsorship. So, you sometimes hear things like Nike are going to help Man United sign a player. We're not even with Nike anymore. Adidas going to help Man United sign a player, or Nike are going to help whoever. That doesn't work by Nike giving the club extra money. What might happen, it could be a crypto company that turn around and say, well, we want to get our crypto advertised on your arms, or we want a certain place on your website. We'll pay Messi directly 300 grand a week.
Yeah.
And it just works that way. So we're not giving Chelsea any money directly, but we'll do a deal with Messi financially, but we want our logo with Messi and we want our logo on something to do with Chelsea. Like, there are ways, and that's very basic. That's not my area of expertise, but there are ways of making money out of Messi, because I haven't actually checked. I haven't checked this. What's his following? Just on Instagram, what's his following?
I think I want to say I'll check now. I think it's like 180 million people. The only person with more than him is Ronaldo, 242 million.
Oh, sorry. I sent a DM to Messi earlier. See if he'd come back to me. I always do it for a laugh. See, so no, you're wrong, mate. 242 million.
Yeah.
242 million. That there, I don't think people understand how
commercially viable your club suddenly becomes.
If we I want to look at Facebook for a minute as well, right? So I'm on Facebook because I don't know how commercial. I know Twitter is, right? But let me just look at Lionel Messi here. 100 million followers on Facebook. So if you think that Conor McGregor, a Instagram post from Conor McGregor is valued at £500,000. He has 42 million followers. 5 times more people follow Messi. So the point is, a company and brands want to be connected. Legitimately there are ways around this to make up that 700 grand, that 700 grand a week. Now it may be that they don't pay. They might pay Messi directly. They might pay the club directly, but all the money goes to Lionel Messi. There's always ways around these types of things for these things to be done. But look, I look at it this way. I understand everybody's thoughts of he's older. He gets in the way of youth development. But I think if Messi joins a Premier League team, I think that Premier League team, if it's one of Man United, Chelsea, City, or Liverpool, the team he joins wins the league.
Oh yeah, no, easily. 100%.
Because he comes in and scores 30, 40 goals
Deep,
extra.
deep all the chances Chelsea miss, and you just put Messi in there. He's not only is he going to score 9 out of 10 of those chances, he's also going to score about 10 extra free kicks. He'll probably whip in about 5. He will score like from 30 yards like 5 times every season, just no problem.
He'll score, say, 40 goals in the season as a minimum. But I think 20 of those, and this is what people have to look at, I think 20 of those goals, 25 of those goals are goals you're not normally scoring. So it's like with when you look at the stats of goal scoring of Bruno Fernandes at Man United, he hasn't just taken those goals away from somebody else. We're scoring something like 22% more goals because of him. Does that make sense? It's like it's additional goals. And Messi brings you additional goals that I think could help win you the league. So I want to say a big thank you here to Paul, who signed up to our membership program here. Thank you very much indeed. He's become a squad member. And a massive shout out to Jake here, Jake Parsons, who's become an academy member today of the Football Terrace. As we said earlier, brand new emojis that I'm posting now on the stream are available on the Football Terrace. We have a new goat emoji, flaming Football Terrace emoji, in the bin, top bins, and that's for you guys to vote off on and off callers. We've got the new logo for Leicester City, and we have the GOAT as well. We have the GOAT, which I think is very, very apt for what we're talking about right now. All member access, you get access to that. Go on, mate.
By the way, I hope Messi's not going anywhere. even though everyone's like, oh my god, Messi's he's not going anywhere. He's staying in Barcelona, no problem whatsoever. So there's nothing to get excited about.
I also think the same. The more I started reading it last night, I really felt like it's going to change in its direction there. Thank you very much here to I want to make sure I pronounce this right. Bloz Brother 3, who's become a legend and super fan. Somebody else has just joined the Football Terrace group chat as well on WhatsApp. I got a notification. If you become a legend and super fan and go to our community page on the Football Terrace, scroll down, you'll find the link. Only legends and super fans can see it. It's exclusive for you. Join that group now. Thank you very much for signing up, my friend. It means a great deal to me. We have a super sticker here as well from Mr. Singh. Thank you very, very much indeed. In terms of Lukaku, I just want to put this question out to you. The poll's running right now, and the poll says 46% of our voters today, nearly 2,000 of them, have said he'll score between 21 and 30 goals. What's your opinion, mate?
Is that just Premier League?
All comps.
All comps. I think that's fair. Again, my problem with Lukaku is not him as a player. I don't actually have a problem with him as a player. I think if he does come to Chelsea, which he probably is, he'll score loads of goals. It's just that I don't think he's worth the money for the price. But that's a different point entirely. He will probably score 30. Yeah, I can see 30 goals. I'm quite interested to see how Tuchel fits everyone in now, because one of Werner, Havertz, and Mount's going to have to drop in some way. So all rotate. So
I think rotation might be the answer here. I think rotation going for multiple, because Chelsea Football Club are a gargantuan club now, and gargantuan clubs, they attempt to win multiple trophies. Multiple trophies in a season is legacy building. Unless you win multiple trophies in a season or retain titles, your club doesn't. For me, there's no dynasty. That makes sense. There's no dynasty there. You have to achieve those elements for that to work, in my opinion. Thank you very much here to the Chronicles of the Truth for becoming a squad member of the Football Terrace. That means a great deal to us. Thank you very much indeed. Just looking here, says he will rotate. Tuchel isn't married to any one lineup. We saw that last season. And I think that's very, very true indeed. He won't be married to just one. He'll do multiple things with it. But listen, I know there's still loads of people waiting to come on. We have come to the end of the stream now. We're back later on today with more transfer news. We're also launching today the Football Terrace Fantasy League. Okay, David is going to be on the panel with me. Igal and Kendall are part of that. So they'll be on the whole show with me. And we're launching the Fantasy League today where we're giving away, via our partners, £1 million. £1 million we're giving away across 5,000 winners, with the top prize at the end of the season being £200,000 to the winning player of our Fantasy League. I'll be picking my team live on the air later. David, Igal, and Kendall will have their teams. We want you to join this exclusive league that can only have up to 60,000 people in it. We launched it yesterday, of course, via our partners, fan team who run the Fantasy League, and of course, Give Me Sport. Over 9,000 of you have already signed up via our friends over at Give Me Sport. We want you to join this league as well. It's going to be absolutely amazing this season. You can win £200,000. There's weekly giveaways. There's Champions League fantasies as well coming up. So make sure you're tuning in later on this afternoon. As I said, £1 million to give away to the players of that game. Until next time, everybody, take care of yourselves. A massive thank you, a goodbye, a God bless.